Okay, so for this video, I'm going to provide a post-game commentary where I just talk about the plans for 2019 and moving forward. In the background, you'll see me play an urban level on hard with Elena. This is one of the more difficult roles, I should say, because I'm going to have a minimum of pistol ammo, and that's pretty much what Elena's all about, so I'm going to be in a somewhat weak position. So if you're curious about how bad some of the rolls can be here, this will shed a little bit more light on things. And it's just pure random, I'm afraid. There's just some scenarios where there's an ammo drop right there that didn't spawn. I believe there's also one over here that didn't spawn or something like that. But anyway, you have less pistol ammo to start with, and as a result that means you're going to have to rely on the other weapons a bit more. And there's going to be more missing drops later on, in case you're wondering. So this is generally what I did to grind while waiting for the other guys to come on, Crimson, Phoenix, to a certain degree even the game dev himself. So you can do just one run here and generally you'll get a full level when you're in the mid-range, otherwise you have to crank up the difficulty a little bit more later on. I also have a little bit of bad luck with the respawns you might have heard, but you'll see it anyway. So right there we're marveling at the bus stop since the dev pointed that out to me. I didn't even realize what that was at first, so I thought it was a collapsed one or something, so that's why I didn't really pay attention to the size. No, it's not. Anyway, for those that frequent the channel, you'll notice I pretty much dropped League last year. There have been some changes made to ranked play, and long story short, I'm still probably not going to go back. There's a lot of problems with just Riot itself, and I've been reading periodically to see how things have changed, and long story short, they haven't, so I kind of have to ask myself, why bother? Unfortunately, it seems like there's just less everything, I guess. From what I've been reading online, even the player base itself has taken a hit, and well, they have to fix their company before they can fix their game. So that is topic number one that we're going to cover. Topic number two is Sentinels. So if you saw the Hello World one-shot that I did this week, I mentioned that I'm kind of getting tired of the one-shots. This one was a little bit better than normal, I'd say, but still, it feels really lazy these days. And as a result, that's why I'm at least going to take a couple of weeks off. I don't know if I'm just going to wait until Oblivion is released and come back then, or pop in a little early should the unlock conditions for Writhe and Idealist be revealed. Those are yet to be decided. I went ahead and actually looked into the effort needed to make a one-shot. The game devs for that game went ahead and showed how one is made publicly, and depending on, like, for a 5-hero game, it's actually a little more time-consuming. Basically, every deck you include adds in a lot more variations, and depending on how specific a start you want, it takes a long time to find that random seed. But generally, based on some of the starting hands, I'm inclined to believe even for those 5-hero games, there's not a lot of care taken to figure out who's going to start with what. So yeah, I'll come back for the unlocks, but we'll play it by ear. To be honest, it's just not been a very good return on time. And all in all, I want to finish The World Ends With You, ideally this month. I did not do anything with it at all in December, and I don't know how much that's going to change, to be perfectly honest, just because the interference for a lot of the stuff is downright ridiculous. It's the point where it severely cripples the effort I put into... Well, get a load of this real quick. So right there is the double headshot insta-kill. That's one of those strategies that you have to employ when there is so few ammo drops to be had. But anyway, going back to World Ends With You, That one, I don't have that much left to do. There's basically just 2 days left, and then I have to do the secret reports, which are necessary to do those 2 days. I haven't done a lot of grinding either, so it's not like I'm going to be walking in here with superpowered characters, which is a double-edged sword of sorts. But otherwise, my goal in a perfect world would be to finish that before January 17th, is because that's when Y2K is coming out. It is a bit of a weird retro-ish game. So I think right here I go for the other double headshot. I just had really bad luck with enemy spawns right there, having 5 guys on me all at once here and only on hard mode. But yeah, so anyway, going back to Y2K, the game has been in development for a very, very, very long time, and as a result, even I'm kind of skeptical that it's going to be released here. So in the event it doesn't, I went ahead and lined up some other things I can do just in case that falls through, which is more likely than I'd like to admit. So that is going to be the RPG for January if all goes according to plan. If not, then that brings me to the next point. So on the visual novel front, we have ideally Winter Symphony starting on Saturday, because I'm taking a break from Bloody Chronicles in the meantime, since I'm hoping that there's going to be more voice acting added. I don't really want to do all the female characters, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I don't really think this... Like, an enemy respawns every few seconds, it seems, here. I probably should have actually been keeping track as we went. So anyway, Winter Symphony is something that went kind of under the radar because it was released in the middle of the Steam Winter Sale. There was another game there too. So I'm going to try to do... Well, there's a lot of stuff that I need to do, just the sum of it. So Winter Symphony is one of them. Heartbound was one that was released in the middle of the Winter Sale too that I think is going to go under radar, but the good news is that one is in early access, so as that's developed, that one is more likely to actually get some attention. And that's kind of where we stand on that front. So other than Winter Symphony, the other visual novel for January is ideally going to be Exogenesis. I'm a little skeptical on that too, because that's been in development for 4 to 5 years now, and, well, let's face it, if it were likely, it probably would have come out already. There's been some questionable stuff happening behind the scenes on that game involving just its general development, and as a result, it was considered vaporware by a lot of people. If you look at the Kickstarter for that one, people are a tad livid over how things played out, and I can't exactly fault them for that. So we'll have to see if at the end of the month it finally materializes, but I'm a little skeptical. And if the event it doesn't, let's see, we have Winter Symphony, that's going to be going first. From there, I may try to do a short one-off visual novel, and depending on, like, the very specifics, we may end up making a return to DSE, right, to do... I can't remember the girl's name right now. Leonhard August. I forgot what her normal name is, but she is the next character to do. So we're almost done with this video, and that brings me to the next bit of visual novel news. So one thing that I'm contemplating doing is in February, Steins Gate is getting a release on the Switch. That one is... well, how do you begin? So, from what I understand, that is the normal game that was kind of on sale with some additional features added into it, including some sort of mini-game. I don't know if that's all supposed to shed more light on the universe itself, or what the finer points of it is, But keep in mind, if there's really that interest in it, we could do Science Gate for February. I don't know exactly how long Y2K is going to take in terms of the RPG front, but in the event that one's completed, the one that I'm thinking about doing next would either be Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass, I believe it's called, or possibly just spending some time with something that's in early access, such as Heartbound, depending on what sort of updates that has. Temtem is a contender, and there's a couple others. And on the topic of Temtem, that brings me to the last thing I wanted to discuss, which is the Saturday live streams. I'm going to try to keep doing those for the near future. As is, there should not be too many interruptions regarding those. And I have a few different things I need to do for those. One of those being Temtems, which is in its very, very early stages of development. That's more of an MMO type thing that you'll see. Otherwise, people have requested Subnautica, which, yes, I did pick up. I don't know if I'm going to start that tomorrow or what. But for the live streams, I'm going to try to do some of the more relaxing type of games, such as where Subnautica comes into play. My Life at Porsche is going to be the main feature, though. I'm looking at taking a break from it for tomorrow, but we'll see, because when I wanted to do Temtem, the servers were actually down, so I couldn't connect to it at all. I don't know if that's going to be the case for this Saturday as well. If it does, we'll fall back on Subnautica, and depending on how Subnautica goes, we may duck back into Porsche, or something else could appear. But anyway, that is the current schedule. In case you're here for Outbreak content, I want to do a Biohazard run multiplayer of all the 5 scenarios, except I'm waiting on Crimson to return for that, so we'll at least have a 3-man group. I've learned a little bit more about the office level, and I'm kind of curious if we can complete that somewhat efficiently. As for Urban, this one I have pretty much memorized. This one I'm not concerned about the slightest in terms of Biohazard difficulty, and even Faith is fairly simple. Since that level is so wide open, you're better able to dodge various things, and as a result, that's why I'm fairly comfortable with that one. As for Shelter, that one's somewhat simplistic. I'm a little bit worried about the cramped corridors, which is my main concern about Shelter as well. The difficulty in that one can be how your teammates can easily block your view. I do have a Shelter run that I have to upload still with the Dev and Phoenix, I believe. And you'll see how fast you can actually clear that level once you pretty much have an idea of what you're doing. The hard part is that there are so many keys required there that inventory space is really at a premium. So, going back to this video real quick, in case you're wondering about the route I'm taking, I'm trying to maximize kills, right here, ammo efficiency. So I'm going to try to do the whole 2 grenades, except when you run out, like I did right there, and then just handgun the hunter things down. What I'm ultimately trying to do is free up some inventory space, because I need to make the big backtrack here that's kind of necessary if you're playing this in single player. There's a chance that the blowtorch could despawn if you grab it earlier and you're not Harry, who has the inventory space to actually carry it. So as a result, what I try to do is clear out everything here. You have to remember the respawns are really, really high this time. And then once everything is cleared out, then I can make the big backtrack, grab the Magnum, grab the blowtorch, and then go fight the boss. For Elena, you have to remember that she only gets a handgun bonus. She has nothing else for ranged weapons other than her skills that you can equip, which I believe I do have... Actually, I'm not even sure if she even gets Soldier now that I think about it. Elena has a really weird skill set. And in case you're wondering why I'm even bothering with her, I plan on using her as a support character in case we have any new players with. She has the Lucky skill, which you can use to generate more ammo than normal. I believe there's some ammo behind the trash, but we'll see. Yeah, it looks like it was right there. 1426, and you get EXP for opening that, which is one of the reasons why I say this is the most efficient map of the bunch. So with the Magnum in tow, you want to grab the blowtorch, fight the boss, and then just bring all the items forward. Whenever you use a toolbox, there's a chance that items could despawn, key items included, unfortunately, which will leave the level impossible to be completed. I also saw pictures from Phoenix, who was trying to teach a new player about this level. He knocked the boss out of bounds, and as a result, it was impossible for them to actually get the toolbox when the guy died. That was a little interesting, but game-breaking. So with that in tow, I just have to go fight the boss and end this. You do get EXP for completing the level itself, so when I actually do complete it, you'll hear the level up sound. So right here I'm going to drop the handgun and the ammo. That's so we can grab the wire. Grabbing the Magnum. There's nothing that should spawn on the other side of me. Everything should come from behind. As a result, I should be safe to go face off against the boss. It's just I want 3 inventory spots for the wire, the toolbox, or the wire, the bolts, and the blowtorch. I already used the toolbox. So I have the shotgun right there if I need it. That's basically plan B. But on hard mode, even with Elena, someone who's not particularly skilled with handgun, well, skilled with guns in general, I have more than I need. So anyway, that is how things currently stand for 2019, and we'll see how things actually fall according to plan. I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.